Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. It's the Monday after 4th of July, and I went into Kroger because I wanted to check to see if they had any discounted meats. I was actually looking for chicken. No chicken on discount, on reduced price. But they did have these pork butts, the bone-in. They were reduced to $1.19 a pound. And I picked up 3 of them. This was the most expensive one. The other one was $3.09, and the other one was $7 and change. So I am going to can up some Mississippi pork roast, and I'm going to take you along with me. I know I've done this probably, it's been a while. It's been quite a few years ago. But I'm going to get this cut up. I might just leave one whole and just put it in the freezer, and we'll have it for dinner some other time. But I'm going to at least cut up 1 or 2 of them and do Mississippi pork roast. And I'm trying to get at least 2 batches out of it. I'm going to do the small canning batch. So probably about 8 jars I'm thinking I'm going to get out of this. So we'll see how it goes. And the next time I get in there, I will definitely, you should always look in the sale aisle or the markdown, whatever it is. You might find some really good deals. And I mean, especially with the price of meat these days. This was $17.82 without the discount. So yeah, crazy prices. Definitely worth looking in those sale areas. So I'm filling up my Presto 26 quart canner. I think it's 26 quarts. The big Mama Jamma. And I was just looking at it, and I was thinking, the line, if you can see that line right there, that's where I thought I filled up my water to. Makes sense, right? But you're not going to be able to see this, but you see that line just below the water line? This right here, right there, right there. Okay, it's going to go out of focus. But there's a notch in my pressure canner that tells me where the water line filled the water to. That line, the darker line, actually where the water line is when the jars are in it, it raises it up some. And I was just going to, I would just fill it to that water line there. That is not the line. So be careful, read your manual, and make sure you're filling your canner to the right water depth. So I'm going to go ahead and get this filled up and get my jars sanitizing and okay, my jars are in. I have put vinegar in the water, and I've put a little bit of water in each jar from the measurement that I need. So when I go to take these out, I'll just dump the water right on in the pot. Today I've got a little canning project going on. I said at the beginning of the video that I went into Kroger looking for discounted meat the Monday after the holiday, and I found these pork shoulder roasts. That's the only thing I found on sale, on clearance, I guess, reduced, was these, and that was it. Now, the first day I got 2, and I had to go out the second day, not that I wanted to. So on Tuesday I went back out. I didn't want to, with all the gas prices the way they are and everything going on. I was like, do I really have to go out? Yeah, I did. So I went back into Kroger just to see if they had chicken, because we eat a lot of chicken, lot of chicken. So I was looking for chicken specifically. They had a couple of more of these roasts out. So I got another one. So I have 3 in total. So $7.94 for this one, $9.03 for this one, and $8.19 for that one. So I was going to just put them up as just pork, just plain pork. Like, we can do whatever we want with it. But I do have those other jars that I put up from the pork tenderloin. So I already have some just pork in the pantry. So I decided, well, I didn't really decide. Somebody suggested that I do that Mississippi pork roast that I did with some other ones that I got a long time ago. And I was like, why not? I have the peppers. I have the au jus gravy mix, which I don't think I used last time, but I'm going to use it this time. I like to put Worcestershire sauce in mine, but it's not really called for, but I'm going to use it. I did a DIY ranch dressing here, so that's what I have here. And of course, I'm using my ForJars ketting lids. I'm using the white mouth today. If you need a discount code, it'll be in the description box below. So this is everything I'm going to use. And I had these already in my pantry, so I'm going to use them up. And I just heard, I didn't look at the ingredients very well, but they have a dye in them, which I didn't realize. So maybe going forward, I won't be buying these. But, you know, trying to get if you know better, you do better, as the saying goes. So now I know I'll look for a healthier version, or I'll just make them myself with some peppers that come out of the garden. There you go. And I probably should have done that because I have lots of peppers already downstairs in my cold room that I could have used instead of these. Yeah. So, but I already had these, so that's that. And I'm going to get started. So I think I wanted to do 1.5 pints, but I can't find any in my stockpile of jars. So we've outgrown pints, which is what I think I did like maybe 3 or so years ago, and it worked for my family then. Now we're having to open up at least 2 to make a meal. So 1.5 jars, that jar, the 1.5 pint jar would have been perfect for this recipe, but I can't find any, so I'm going to use quarts today. And as you saw, I already have them in the canner, sanitizing, warming up. So I'm going to get to cutting this. I think last time I did the raw pack method. I think I might do the par cook method this time. We're going to see how it goes, because it's quite hot here. And do I really want to turn on my oven for this? Because I'm already going to have my counter on making heat. So yeah, we're going to see how it goes. Maybe I'll do raw pack. Okay, so I've got 2 of the pork roast cut up in here. I have washed it. And now I am going to par cook it. I've got my lined cookie sheets here. And I'm just going to put, divide it in 2 and put it in the oven. And this is more, I'm sure, more than enough for the 7 jars I currently have. So the 3rd roast, I'm going to actually freeze it. I'm just going to keep it whole, and we're just going to eat it like that. So I'm going to get these on the cookie sheet, pan, whatever, and get them in the oven. So I've got the meat in the oven. I've got 2 of the bones here because they were bone in. So I'm going to put those in the freezer, and I am going to make broth out of those. This is some fat that I cut off, and I'll render it down later on and make some, what is it, tallow? No, tallow's beef. So lard out of it. So I'll make some lard out of it. And then this is just some scrap pieces of meat that were too thin to go in with the chunks. So I'll just cook them up for maybe like rice or something like that. And that's what I'll do with that. Everything here is going to go into the fridge. Oh, the freezer. No, freezer. Because I'm not going to do this today. I'm doing enough right now. So yeah, freezer for later. Okay, so I just took the pork out of the oven, and I'm just letting it cool for a few moments before I put it in the jars, but life must go on. So on the side here, I made a quick little pizza for dinner tonight, and I'm going to be finishing this off as soon as I get that into the oven, which is already hot because I just took this out. Okay, so I've got my meat divided into all the jars. And it could have been a little fuller, but you know what? I'm going to do what it do. So into the jars, in goes my ranch, DIY ranch dressing. Okay, so I made up the au jus gravy. Add a little bit of Worcestershire sauce to it. So I've got that going. Then I'm going to open up my pepperoncinos. Okay, so I've got these open. I'm going to try to evenly distribute these through the 7 jars. I'm going to see how good I am. So I'm just going to try not to make a mess. Get these distributed. Okay, so I've got the peppers evenly distributed through the jars. I have the juice here. And I am going to eyeball it between all of these jars. So let's see if I can do this without spilling too much. And measure as I go. Okay. Okay, so now time for the broth. I'm just gonna mix it up one last time. And I did use the juice that the meat produced, so that will have a little bit. I'm gonna use the same measuring cup, so I'm not spilling it so much, because I know I'm going to spill it. And in it goes. Let's see if I made enough broth. Probably not. Well, definitely enough. If I start spilling it, it's definitely not going to be enough. Okay, so I made up another small batch of broth here. I'm going to get my jars topped off. And then I'm going to wipe the rims, put my lids and rings on, and put them into the canner. So really important, don't forget to debubble. Even though I'm not crammed these full, the broth's gonna come in really handy for things and make a yummy soup if I decide to do that with them. But don't forget to debubble. And as you can see, that level went down some. So yeah, even though I know I have room in here, there's some air trapped in there as well. So debubbling is really important. So I'm gonna get these done and come back. Okay, so since my jars need a little bit of topping off, and whatever little bit of broth I had made, I've already put in, and I need a little bit more. I'm not gonna make another broth. I'm just going to top them off with some hot water, just to make sure they are topped off to the 1-inch headspace, and I'm gonna do that for all of them. Okay, so now that I've got everything topped off, I've got my 4 jars here in hot water or warm water, and then I've got some vinegar. So I'm going to start wiping the rims of the jars. All right, so I've got my moistened paper towel. Go around the rims, see if I can do this without making a mess. And as you can see, you really want to be wiping your rims. Turn it to a different position, turn it over, and I'll come back and wipe this again, because I can already tell that I spilled some of the broth because I didn't use the funnel the second time. And get the last one, and now I'm gonna get a fresh piece of paper towel that I've already dipped in the vinegar somewhat, and start wiping a second time, just to make sure they're doubly clean. Okay, so now that I got all my rims clean, I'll go my jars, get all of them on. They're behaving tonight. Yeah, that's good. Or maybe I spoke too soon. Yeah, which is probably the case. Got my lids all on, and now get my rings on. Remember, fingertip tight, no tighter. Jar going into the kettle. Now I'm gonna put my lid on. See if I can do this one-handed. We're gonna bring this up. Why is it? I can't do this one. I'm going to lock it into position, and I'm going to bring it up to temp slowly, let it vent out of here for 10 minutes, then put my weight on, bring it up to pressure. For me, that's 10 pounds of pressure, because I'm less than 1,000 feet above sea level. And then, because I'm doing quarts, that is 90 minutes that I pressure can it at 10 pounds of pressure for. And I need to, with this, I need to stick around, because sometimes my stove is finicky, and when it's an induction top, this works with it, but when it comes on, there's a burst of energy, and then when it goes off, it kind of settles. So it's not constant. So it might go a little bit above, but you definitely do not want it to go below 10, whatever your pounds of pressure is for your feet above sea level. And if it does, you need to restart the count again. So I'm gonna start. Well, it's already on, and everything is warm. My jars were warm, the can is warm, so it shouldn't take much to vent that steam. And if I catch it, I'll show you that it's venting. So now the hard part begins, the cleanup. Yep, my sink is filthy, and gotta get everything cleaned up because I cannot leave it like this tonight. Okay, you can't see it, but maybe you can hear it. So I'm gonna let it vent like that for 10 minutes before I put my weight on. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes. I'm going to put my weight on. That also tells me all the pressure or the air has been pushed out, because that's up now. So I'm gonna put my weight on. And I'm gonna wait till it comes up to my 10 pounds of pressure before I start my timer. Okay, so they all processed, and they haven't, I see about the three back ones look like they sealed, but these couple of ones up front haven't sealed yet. That one looks like it's sealed already. So I just pulled them out. As you can see, they're still bubbling away. This one's not. Weird. Oh yeah, a little bit. Is it? Or am I just like, these ones are bubbling away. This one doesn't seem to be bubbling. It is hot though. So yeah, I am going to leave this overnight on the counter and come back to it tomorrow morning. Okay, so I'm down in my cold room, and I have the Mississippi pork roast. Turn that around so you can see it. The Mississippi pork roast that I just canned up, and it's down in my cold room. I labeled it. There are the 7 jars. Filling up these holes, guys. Filling up these holes. Definitely, I'm so happy to have this once again on the shelf. And we're going to enjoy this. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And click that notification bell to be notified when I upload videos. God bless. And remember, stay safe and keep prepping.